enter Gaza for special operations for the next 5 months. And the Walls and Sheldak's raiding faction carried out all the complicated raids on Hamas targets and ostensibly civilian targets in the northern Gaza Strip.
What are you guys actually doing?
There are things I can't say and that I'll keep to myself and the unit.
Shaldag, the secret elite unit of the Israeli Air Force whose operations are secret and its fighters are not interviewed, they agreed to be interviewed only to tell about the commander of the reserve faction, Itzhar Hoffman, who fell during an operation in the Shady neighborhood a month and a half ago.
Itzhar הוא סוג של... This is a team that everyone would want to be on. This is a team whose speciality is raiding. Everything here is tough, even training. It's an all-star team.
And Itzhar's raid assault team received the most valuable operations. The operation at Shifa Hospital in Gaza is the first operation of this reconnaissance unit carried out before the eyes of the world. The sensitivity of the operation passes from room to room in a hospital with thousands of patients, with terrorists to strategic tunnels and weapons.
Itzhar, one could say, was a kind of architect of this operation who also carried out the construction of hospitals in his civilian life.
So he knew how to help us with all the delicate points, where we are allowed to work, where it is prohibited, what is always there, how to enter through what entrances. So it's a game played on two fronts. And it actually puts him in a kind of operational gap between those who know both the terrain and the principles and objectives themselves. We already have arrived into Shifa, and no matter where you look, everything you see is ammunition. Just like that, you open a car, open the trunk, and there are weapons, vests, RPGs, walkie-talkies, all of everything you can imagine, no matter where you look. We are not used to work when there are civilians. We have to be very, very precise, very focused. Know you're supposed to encounter with an enemy and they're preparing for you.
And you still don't want to kill everyone there. After we got back, we gave each other such a hug, and Itzhar yelled,
10 years. These are the 10 years of the reserve duty that we were working for these moments, and they have just came true. It was a successful operation, and we were both excited.
Major G was Itzhar's best friend in the unit. They made him parallel the entire course for this exclusive unit. Then it was also continued reserve duty. Major G was Itzhar's deputy in Palgat. Together they designed the lecture for the Indonesian-Turkish hospital in Shifa's operation, and other operations that haven't been published yet.
All of the time, fighters from the unit were killed in various operations. We understand it's dangerous, there's no question here. It's a very complex battlefield, very crowded. We understand the danger, and so did Itzhar. And it just reinforced with us that suddenly there's an event like this and you're operating in such a way, the team, and Itzhar operated it so well.
Immediately after the mission, the raiding unit embarks on another operation because there were some alerts at Hamas's main base in the area.
On the last day, we were already starting to organize for the exit when suddenly we hear screamings. And you know when they are suspicious, you can feel it.
I enter the building, and as I enter, I receive a communication on my device. Lots of shouting from the roof, throwing grenades between the steps. We returned. We entered one of the armored vehicles that were there. We're in a shooting situation with a terrorist inside the building. He shoots at us from one of the floors. Anyone who crossed the stairs gets a bullet.
Itzhar, on his initiative, leads Shaldak's force towards the city hundreds of meters away. They enter a building where a unit is being shot at from the roof and had several wounded, and they were unable to evacuate 2 officers.
The combat in Jirem is one of the most complex events that a combatant can have. The terrorist's ability to control you from above is difficult.
Itzhar leads the soldiers climb the stairs. We already put a hand on one of the combatants who was lying on the ground, and we managed to make him retreat. Itzhar was injured, and of course he also says that he doesn't want to evacuate.
I literally pull him out, sit him on some bed that was there. He pulls his pants down and see the bullet's entrance hole. And he, unconcerned, tells me to go away, that it was nonsense, there is no blood at all, and I tell him, stop, listen, you just received the bullet, you have a hole with an entrance and exit. I won't put you a lot of bandage because not much blood comes out. I see that he is happy because he can fight again. He quickly picked up his pants and fought again.
After about an hour of battle, Shaldag force manages to eliminate all the terrorists on the roof.
Itzar was evacuated after, and 2 days after that, he had already appeared in the squad, skipping and smiling.
Itzar is leading, despite the injury, an operation to expose the tunnel under a Unua building in the Ramo neighborhood of northern Gaza. This is a strategic tunnel that the IDF has known for many years, and inside it is Hamas's central server base. During the operation on January 30, Itzar Hoffman was killed from sniper fire.
Although he was turned away, the mission continued, and it was announced as very successful and contributed a lot to the IDF fight. The same operation he was killed in, and further dedicates this operation to him. The programming says that he was killed. I'm driving home to arrange my equipment, to say goodbye to my children and my wife, because I realized that my days off are over. We actually have to get back into the squad.
רגע לתפוס את הפלגה.
My children are still small, but my wife understands very well what that means. Let's just say we've always told them that the things we do aren't dangerous. Let's say that doesn't work with them anymore. I mean, they understand, and that it's very complicated too.
ושזה קורה.
10 fighters and officers from the unit lost their lives since October 7. This is a small elite unit that has never lost any fighters in operational activity. Like the bird, the unit symbol, they are used to diving, performing, and striving back.
I didn't imagine myself alive coming into face-to-face battles like that, facing terrorists. I didn't imagine my friends would die and that I would be wounded. Stuff that when you're in your training in the regular reserve duty, you say, okay, when war will happen, but I can inevitably say about this operation that Itzar led it, and he always saw the day of tomorrow as war. And it was never really fun. I can tell that the spirit of Itzar lives among this unit and meets us everywhere we operate, and even after.